Well, I'm in my train room here, and I was going to try and film some of this. I don't know if it'll work. Maybe I should move it. Let's see how that looks. Anyway, I'm going to do some improvements. I came to this conclusion when I was running trains with a camera on it and realized that there are parts of my layout that aren't really finished, but you don't really notice it sitting over there where I sit. So I'm going to grab my camera here. That kind of stuff. Woodland Scenic Medium Ballistic Brown. I have it already over here in this construction site, and I'm going to paint with that Home Depot sample paint there I got. I'm going to use in other areas in this area, but I got to finish taping this off. Set this down right here. I got to finish taping this off, and we can begin the process of laying it down. I think I'll paint first, and then come in with the rock colored dirt in the and then I think I'm going to put regular ballast in where the tracks are, which I have, you know, everywhere else on my layout. I mean, this is what the look I have going on my layout. But I never really finished this back end corner here, so that's what I'm going to do. Check back later. Well, here we are. Spreading this medium balsamic, and I'm going to make this area look like dirt, or a type of dirt, and I'm going to put regular gray mixed rock type on the tracks. So that's what's going to try. I'm going to try and attempt that. Kind of winging it here a little bit, but this is like in a back corner, so it's not like it's not going to be really seen very much. But it just kind of ties up loose ends that I have over in this area here. So I'll spray this down with a mix of it's like Elmer's glue, but Woodland Phoenix sells it. I've used it on all my tracks, and it'll set this up and make it permanent. So that's what's going on. Okay, next job is to wet it down. So this Woodland Phoenix glue that's diluted with water absorbs into the ballast a lot better when it's wet. So I give it a good wetness, and then we'll get the glue going. So this is the glue I use, and I use the spray on. So I just dilute this and put it into this, and then put it into a sprayer. Make sure I shake this up good. I haven't used this in 4 years, 5 years maybe even, but it seems like it's going to work all right. Yeah, it looks like it's okay. So we'll just spray it, dump this guy in here, and then we're going to do the same thing we just did with the water. Let's go over there and do it. Okay, so I'm doing the spray part of it now. So I just come back in with a different product. Instead of water, now we're using glue. And we just gotta get it nice and thick on there. When I do the ballast on the tracks itself, I use an eyedropper. It's a little more accurate than this shotgun way of doing it. So we just get this good and wet. Sorry, water tower. And I'll probably come in and do a little bit of touch up. Let's see. Oh, that looks pretty good. Oh, right here, a little bit right there. Give that a little squirt. And I think that's going to be good. So we'll let that set up, and then we'll go to the next step. When you get into this tighter area here, I'm going to use a spoon and ladle it in there like this. Carefully, carefully, carefully. Like that. Looks good. One more, I think. Yeah, right in there. So that is what's going to go in there. I gotta get another little batch in there, back in that corner back there. Oh boy. Sorry guys. Sorry man. And then we'll just get that in there as best we can. Kind of winging it here today. Now the rest of that stuff will just pull off of there, but we do need to hit it with some glue. And that didn't get wet beforehand, so I'm going to hit it pretty hard. Okay. It'll look awesome, or it'll be a big ass mess in the morning. We'll see. Clean this guy off here. I made these pillars, and these pillars here are made of insulation foam, as in the whole layout is made out of insulation foam. And I had an interesting technique to get that look that you see there. I have a piece right here. So these originally look like that. And I would glue these and also drill them with screws sometimes just to hold them together while they're gluing. But this is a combination of elephant ear paint. I got it Home Depot, and you buy the sample size, which is tiny, but it gives you enough paint for a hobby. And then I use a spray can of texturing paint, and I spray that over the top of it, and it gives me the look I like on these concrete pieces. All for now. Notes: after you use your sprayer, make sure you wash it out, because if you leave that glue in there, that'll be the end of that guy. Here is the Home Depot paint that I use. It's elephant skin, actually. Elephant skin. This is what I use on pretty much all this place. And then I spray it with this, and it gives me that texture. What happens is, on here it's rough, but once it dries flat. So you end up with that kind of a look. So I'm going to let that sit overnight, and then we'll play with it tomorrow.